So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get all 24 of the starter type Pokemon. It's going to be like Bulbasaur and Squirtle and so on and so forth that are in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Indigo Disc DLC. If you do appreciate this video, like would be super appreciated. It's going to be a very heavy video to kind of put out for you guys. A lot of work going into this one. So if you do enjoy, leave a like. If you don't, let me know why so I can improve the content in the future, and be sure to subscribe for more content. All right, first things first, you're going to need a lot of BP. If you don't know how to get BP, I have a whole guide on my channel, but the fastest way to do it is online. You can use either the comment section or our Discord to do that. But again, I'll leave a link down in the description below on, you know, kind of going through all that. Why? Because we're going to have to come here to the club room. So if you don't want to go to the club room, you just got to go to the entrance of the terrarium, and you can just go up to the doorway. And when you go to the doorway, it's going to ask, where do you want to go? And you're just going to go down and select the League club room. Okay. So there's going to be, I think you can do this at any point in the game. Once you've unlocked the ability to get BP, so you don't have to wait till it's done. But you're going to go up to this computer called the League Club computer, and we're going to contribute BP. You're going to need a total of 12,000 if you want all 24 of these Pokemon. If you scroll all the way down, you can see there's 4 that are going to be boost biodiversity and you know, the 4 different biomes. So you got the savannah biome, the coastal biome, the canyon, and the polar biome. So we're going to do all 4. So basically what happens if we select one, excuse me, is we're going to go ahead, we're going to contribute to it, and we're going to get a phone call saying thanks for your support. And basically that using the BP that we donated, it's going to upgrade the environments in that biome. So for example, it's going to include other Pokemon, for example, wild Charmander. So there's going to be more species in that biome. So again, this is what you're going to want to do to be able to get all of the different Pokemon to show up. So again, likewise, we're going to do the same thing for the other biomes here as well. And again, you can see that I had 13 BP. So again, we're going to get, you know, Pokemon like Grookey in the coastal biome, right? I'm going to go do the other 2 as well, just to show you guys. We're going to do the canyon biome. It's going to be 3,000 as well. Thanks for your support. And basically, they're going to upgrade it. You're going to see ones like Litten in this biome. So again, these are just examples that they're giving us, but there's going to be more than that. And then the final one down here is going to be the polar biome. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to upgrade the polar biome, and then it's going to, you know, have different Pokemon such as Piplup. So you get a little bit of an idea. So again, we're going to go ahead, we're going to jump into this. Now, my suggestion would be to get a Pokemon that uses either Hypnosis and or gosh, what was it called? False Swipe. So if I go to check, let's say Glade's summary here, you can see over here that I have False Swipe. So what False Swipe's going to do is it's going to leave the Pokemon with 1 HP. So it's not going to kill it. So that could be good to help, you know, catch the Pokemon. You could drop a save before you actually encounter the Pokemon. Also, sneaking up behind it and trying to surprise it is going to increase the chances of being able to catch it as well, because apparently there's a low catch rate with these Pokemon. So just keep that in mind. And with all that aside, I think that's all we need to really cover. Like I said, Hypnosis will, you know, be good as well to kind of, you know, hypnotize the Pokemon and increase your catch rate. Use a Quick Ball right out of the gate, you know, kind of first things first. If you want and just leave the fight and then come back, I would just do that if you don't get a critical in the Quick Ball. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, you can use Timer Balls, I guess, if you want to just play it out, but or you know, like I said, Ultra Balls, or you know, if you use False Swipe or Hypnosis or whatever, there's a few different combinations of ways you can go about this. So again, with all that aside, we got the bulk of the, you know, preface of this done. Let's get into actually catching them and where you can find each of these Pokemon. All right, so first up, a Bulbasaur you can find in the coastal region, bottom left kind of area here. I'm going to show you guys where they typically are, where I found them. He's kind of hanging out in the grassy areas on I think, a random cliff. I'm not going to show you guys catching them. It's kind of pointless. So I'll just show you the habitat and actually where I seen them. Charmander kind of hanging out in the bottom right-ish area of the savannah area. So again, just kind of hanging out in some of the tall grass here. Again, make sure you guys try to sneak up on these Pokemon for a greater chance of catching them. We got Squirtle going to be the bottom left corner, or bottom left middle area, sorry, of the canyon region. I found mine in the water, could also be on the shore. Again, I'm doing this in order of game releases, if you haven't noticed already. Top right area, the coastal region, we could find Chikorita in those following areas. I found mine right here, kind of on this cliff area. There was actually quite a few Chikoritas here. They're just kind of hanging out in the grassy areas, so check that. Cyndaquil is going to be in one very specific cave, so I'm going to show you guys a little bit more of this one. So this cave is like right here, right outside the kind of barrier in the polar area. You can kind of see it on the map, and if you go into the cave, this is what it's going to look like right here. This is going to be a special kind of terrestrial Pokemon in here. If it doesn't spawn, just keep going in and out, in and out, in and out until you can find Cyndaquil. You can defeat the other Pokemon, the non-terrestrial Pokemon, and that might help as well. But keep going in and out of that cave and you should be able to find it. We got Totodile, which is going to be located in very specific areas, kind of like the muddy areas. I ended up finding it right here in that one that had the kind of one square. Very easy to find. Again, those very specific muddy areas in the savannah. Treecko, we're going to be finding in a very specific area in the canyon region, as you guys seen on screen. It's going to be kind of in the grassy area of that kind of sort of zone, I guess, if you will. Pretty easy to find. Then we have Torchic, which is going to be found in one very specific cave. So again, I'll show you guys exactly where it is. This is where the actual spawn location is, the fast travel for the plaza, the polar plaza where you fight Drayton or whatever. So if you go from there up this hill over here, you can see there's going to be a cave, and if you head into this cave, you can see there's also a terrestrial Pokemon in here. You should be able to find the proper Pokemon Torchic in here. Again, if you need to respawn it, go in and out, and you should be good to go. Mudkip, we're going to be finding this very specific spot in the coastal region. You guys can see where I'm at right here. I'm at the coastal kind of area. We're going to be going into the labyrinth. So if we're going from this rest spot, there's a cave right here. I'm going to be going into the cave because this, again, it's going to be a labyrinth. Once you go into this cave, you can find Mudkip anywhere in this cave. So just search around. It's a very, again, it's a labyrinth. It's kind of like a maze. So search around, go ahead, grab your Mudkip. We're good to go. Next up, we got a Turtwig, which is going to be found pretty much in like the top half of the canyon region. You can find around kind of the grassy areas and whatnot. So not too hard to find. Turtwig, very, very easy. And likewise easy, we got Chimchar, which is going to be found in the pretty much bottom half of the polar region. So just head a little bit north and you can find Chimchar kind of hanging out. This is where I found mine, is kind of hanging out on these kind of cliffs and whatnot. Again, you can find Chimchar in any of those regions. These are really not too hard to find out. Same thing with Piplup, going to be in the whole kind of top area, but I'm actually going in the bottom right area, the one that had the 4 squares, because this is right outside the central hub, and I ended up finding a group of Piplups kind of hanging out on this iceberg. Same thing with Snivy or Snivy, going to be at the top right corner of the savannah, and again, not too hard, just kind of chilling around with all the other Pokemon, typically in the kind of brown, grassy areas. Very easy to find. Next up, we got Tepig, how you pronounce them. He's pretty much in the sort of entire right side of the canyon. I'll just go to the bottom right of the canyon. You should be able to find him pretty easily, just kind of wandering around in these general areas here, as you guys can see up on screen. Likewise, Oshawott we have in the whole like kind of upper region, but also right outside the central plaza. This is where we also found Piplup, and this is where I'm going to be getting Oshawott. Could be swimming, could be on one of these icebergs. Just look around, you should be able to find it. Chespin, a little bit more tricky. You can see that it's between the canyon and the polar region. So if we're going to go from the kind of central hub area, you can just follow my map that I just marked on the map there. I pulled up the map. Just go back and pause it if you need to get a closer look. But there's a cave, a cavern, that if you go in, I'm going from the polar side, but you can go in from either side, the polar or the canyon side. We're going to cross this chasm, and anywhere in this kind of general area, you could be able to find Chespin. Again, this is a cavern that kind of links the two sides, the canyon and the polar side. So again, just go into that cavern. You should be able to find Chespin, just kind of wandering around and whatnot as well. Fennekin is going to be found in this one specific area, kind of in the kind of left middle area of the savannah region, kind of in a grassy area, as you guys can see up on screen. So go ahead, interact with it, catch it, all that good stuff. Froakie going to be in the kind of top middle-ish section of the coastal region, kind of hanging out in the grassy areas is where I found mine. And again, that's going to be Froakie. Moving on, we got Rowlet pretty much almost anywhere in the Savannah region. Typically in these kind of grassy areas. Could be a little bit tricky to find because Rowlet sort of matches the color of the grass. So just kind of look around the grassy area, should be good. Litten is pretty much anywhere in the canyon area, at least in the top kind of left sort of ish area. Hanging out in the grass right here. This is also where Turtwig was. So if you remember we got Turtwig, Litten's probably going to hang out around there. Popplio in the most of the coastal region in the kind of top right area. I found Popplio was kind of hanging out on one of the beaches. So check the beaches. Typically that's where you're going to find Popplio hanging out is on the beaches, close to the water, things like that. Grookey's going to be in the bottom right of the coastal region. Hanging out in the kind of grassy areas. So look around the grassy areas in that region. You should be able to find Grookey, no problem. Just go ahead, as per usual, interact with Grookey. And go ahead and catch it and you're good to go. Finally, we got Scorbunny in the entire kind of bottom half of the polar region, except that kind of bottom right, but most of the bottom half. Just hanging out with all these other Pokemon on these kind of snow cliffs and whatnot. That's where I found my Scorbunny, and that's going to be that one. And then finally, Sobble you can find in these very specific kind of muddy regions in the savannah. Just look where they are. And again, I found my Sobble is kind of hanging out literally in the dead center of the muddy regions. So that's where you're going to find Sobble. Go ahead, pick it up, and that is going to be 24 out of 24 starter Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Again, I don't really want to waste time showing you guys, actually catching them or anything like that. There's no point to that. I want to show you guys where their habitat was and, kind of a visual representation of where I found them personally on my, in my game. And maybe that'll help you out. Again, we did this pretty quick, but if you needed to go back, pause, kind of check the map a little bit closer. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. But again, I didn't want to make this a 20-minute video. I didn't want to put unnecessary content in here, but at the same time, I want to try to give you as much sufficient content as possible. Hopefully I struck that balance. If I didn't, let me know so I can improve the content in the future. If you did find this video useful, leave it a like, subscribe for more. And again, have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay well. Until the next one, game on. I'll see you guys soon.